everyone, Chris here, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm here to share with you my TBR for middle grade March. It is that time again. We have our middle grade March prompts, and I am so excited to take part. I will link the middle grade March channel in the announcement video below. There's some very interesting prompts this year, and a few of them were quite tricky. But I'm very, very excited for the stack of books I've got. I'm going to try to get to a ton of other middle grades, but these are specifically the ones that are going to fulfill the prompts. So before I get into the proper prompts, there are group books. The first is The Secret Garden. I've read this, so I don't plan on rereading this, but that is an option. And then the other group book is Moon Garden, which is the first book in the Plotting of the Stars. And I believe this is a sci-fi Secret Garden retelling. It says, centuries ago, Earth's plants turned deadly and humanity took to space to cultivate new homes. Mira Hajar is in her first year at an elite school on the moon, and she's crumbling under the pressure. She doesn't fit in, and worse, the tattoos that signal her number whisperer magic aren't developing. In her heart, she knows she doesn't have a career, and soon everyone else will too. Wandering the halls while cutting class, she discovers a secret lab hidden behind one of the unused classrooms, and beyond that, a secret garden overflowing with plants. Dangerous, toxic plants. As she learns more about the garden, Mira begins to wonder if she does have a career after all. One that died out when Earth did. One that could help solve the food shortages the government doesn't want anyone to know about. Re-envisioning the secret garden for a new generation, Moon Garden weaves together STEAM themes and intense social pressures in a stunning series starter and introduces a dynamic heroine who might just grow a revolution. This sounded really, really interesting. I have read other Secret Garden retellings, so I'm definitely still fresh on what the Secret Garden was about, which is why I chose not to reread it. And this cover is stunning. This feels like a really awesome pick for the group read, and I'm very excited to get to it. So into the prompts, the first is to read an author that has 3 names. And for this, I'm going to read Vivi Conway and the Haunted Quest by Lizzie Huxley Jones. This is the second book in the Vivi Conway series. So if you're looking for a recommendation for a author with 3 names, I would highly suggest you check out the first one. I really, really enjoyed this series. There's just a ton of rep in this series. And our main character is autistic. She is so much fun to follow. It was really, really cool to see her journey in this one. And I am very, very curious to check this one out and see where our character's journey goes in this one, because I had such a fun time with the first one, and I have been just clamoring to get my hands on the second one, and it just has not fit for any of my TBRs, and this gave me the perfect opportunity to finally continue on with the series. Then, the next prompt I'm going to mention is to read a book that's part of a series, so I decided to read The Memory Thieves, which is the second book in the Conjurer series. I'm also planning on rereading book 1 because it's been a while since I read book 1, but I just recently purchased a paperback copy of book 2 to match book 1, so I'm hoping to get to both of these in March. So I believe our main character's name was Ella, and I think, if memory serves, she ends up going to this school, and there's magic involved, and she has a certain kind of magic that could be very dangerous. But don't hold me to that. Like I said, it's been a while since I've read the first one, hence why I'm planning on rereading it. But this was another prompt that gave me a perfect excuse to continue a series I was hoping to get back to. And one of my 2025 goals is to try and read every single book I purchase in the year 2025 in 2025. So since I just got this, I had to try to read this year. So I am very excited to dive into this one and rediscover Ella and her journey. Next, we need to read a book that features travel. And I'm going to read Fairies in the Forest, which is the second book in the Cinder and Spark series. And this is a bit of a Cinderella retelling. And our main character in this one, I believe, is on the run. So I'm going to assume that she's going to be traveling around trying to stay one step ahead of the people she's running from. I'm hoping to read both books 2 and 3 in March, which would either catch me up or finish the series. This is definitely a series that I think is perfect for its age range. It's really cute and fun, if memory serves, on book 1. It won't be a particularly hard read. The text is pretty big, and there are the occasional illustrations. So very excited to dive back into another series. Then, for what was the hardest prompt for me to find, was to read a book with flowers on the cover. And for this, I'm going to read Operation Sisterhood by Olugbemisola Rude Perkovich. Hopefully I didn't butcher her name too badly, but there are flowers. on this cover. This is actually the start of a series. And it says, 4 newly found sisters, one unforgettable summer. Bo and her mom always had their own rhythm. But ever since they moved to Harlem, Bo's world has fallen out of sync. In one brownstone, she is now living with 1. Mom's boyfriend Bill and his daughter Sunday. 2. Twins Lil and Lee and their parents. 3. A giant dog, 2 cats, a bearded dragon, a turtle, and chickens. With so many people and animals squished together, Bo isn't sure there is room for her. Luckily, it isn't long before a shared love of music and a touch of mischief has Bo changing her tune. And with a wedding on the horizon, Bo and her new family are ready to band together for the best celebration their block has ever seen. This just sounds like it's going to be a really fun read. Reading the description, it gives me some slight Vanderbeekers vibes, and I absolutely love that series. So if it can capture some of the magic from that series, I'm going to adore this one. And then the last prompt is to read a book written in the 1900s. And I'm going to be reading The Saturdays by Elizabeth Enright. This was published in 1941. So definitely in the 1900s. It is, I want to say, a middle grade fiction of some kind. And I think this is another one that, when I was reading the description, gave me Vanderbeekers vibes, although obviously this one came first. It says, when your Saturday comes, what will you do with it? The 4 Melody children live with their father and Cuffy, their beloved housekeeper, in a worn but comfortable brownstone in New York City. There's 13-year-old Mona, who has decided to become an actress, 12-year-old mischievous Rush, 10-and-a-half-year-old Randy, who loves to dance and paint, and thoughtful Oliver, who is just 6. Tired of wasting Saturdays doing nothing but wishing for larger allowances, the 4 Melodies jump at Randy's idea to start the independent Saturday afternoon adventure club, Isaac. If they pool their resources and take turns spending the whole amount, they can each have at least one memorable Saturday afternoon of their own. Before long, Isaac is in operation, and every Saturday is definitely one to remember. This is also, I believe, a book I hauled in 2021, and another one of my 2025 goals was to try and read every single book that I hauled in 2021 or before and get them off of my shelves, so that at the end of the year, if I do have any left, I can really look at them and say, do I want to keep these books on my shelf? So I looked at the books I had written in the 1900s. This is the one that stood out to me, so this is the one I will be reading. So this is my TBR for middle grade March. I am very excited to dive into it and can't wait to check all of these books out. Hopefully I love them. I love reading middle grade, so I love getting to partake in middle grade March every year. Thank you to the host for once again giving us another round and bringing some light to some middle grade and definitely forcing us to get creative, because I think a lot of people had trouble with flowers on the cover and we're all like scrambling to find a book. So I am so excited to take part. If you were taking part, let me know what you're reading below and which of the prompts was hardest for you to fulfill. All of my social media is linked in the description below if you'd like to come chat with me. If you've made it this far in the video, leave me flower emoji since I had such a hard time finding a book with flowers on the cover. Like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!